Robert Kirkman's destroyer finds out he doesn't have much time left on Earth. So what does he decide to do? He decides to clean up the Earth for those that will remain, his family. And that means every one of them would have to go in one brutal way or another. And where we left off in the last issue, he was dying. He had a heart attack mid-battle. And even with that, he still found a way to save his kid. It was a good day, regardless of even if he ended up in a hospital. But you see, this came as a blessing as well, because while he was asleep, his team had finally found the base of Horde. Basically, this was the bad guy central, the one group of people that have caused enough chaos to his world that they definitely need to go by his hand only. He said, Jesus Christ, why the hell are you moving so slow? Let's go get this pricks. His wife told him no, she wasn't comfortable with this, but she knew him. There was no stopping him. So she was going to be upset, but he was going to do what he had to do. Regardless of his health, regardless of the heart attack, he was still the destroyer. Thankfully, his team still realized, boy, you're an old man. You need help. Take this cannon with you. He didn't want to, but he understood that the value of this cannon was hard. As he came through inside of a missile into the base of his enemies, he popped out like a jack-in-a-box. Attack. And boy, they attacked. But the hordes were prepared. They had a monstrous horde ready to attack, and they butchered everybody until he whipped out the cannon and turned them to dust. Literally, nothing remained where they stood. The monsters, however, didn't give a damn about no cannon. They didn't have minds to control or to feel fear. They just kept coming on and on and on. He was about to be eaten alive until his partner came through. He thought he left him behind, but nah, you ain't doing nothing without me. He was pissed off. Why are you here? You're supposed to be with your family, with your wife. He said, boy, shut up and fight. Because I'm your partner. I'm not going to let you come out here and die. Hell nah. So they fought, hoping for the leader to come, but he did, and he was a monster. He looked like that creature from Star Wars, and he could talk. He was intelligent. He went straight for the destroyer, biting off the cannon he had in his arm. But the thing is, it was still a cannon. It went off, of course, but he felt no pain, no damage. So the destroyer looked at his partner, and both of them understood what they had to do. Running to his sides, they punched him so hard his eyes popped out. The destroyer fell off. He couldn't keep his footing, but his partner knew exactly what to do. He climbed into this monster's eye socket, and he killed him from the inside out. It was absolutely grotesque, and everyone who watched this was surprised. They were excited. Nice one, kid. Even the destroyer said, I'll be damned, before passing out. When he recovered, he finally came to the realization, boy, I'm old. I mean, I used to be the shit, but now our son-in-law is the shit. You should have seen him today. He was a work of art. She said, boy, come back to bed. Because the next day, they went to pick up their daughter. She was okay, but she was pissed off. You kept this from me? All these years, and you didn't tell me you were a superhero, or that you quit because my father told you to. How stupid could you take me to be? It wasn't only him that felt terrible. The destroyer felt terrible as well. Homie felt like he was Batman. He said to himself, the world deserves a good destroyer, and I almost took my perfect protege because I was scared. His wife understood. She understood where he was coming from. The whole point of all this was to keep his family safe, and the one man who could do it, he put on the back burner. Thankfully, he's seen the error of his ways. But you see, tonight, he was going to face his biggest challenge yet, his biggest fight yet. He was going to fight death. He went to bed and had a heart attack, and he woke up in death's realm. Literally. And you need to remember, this is the Marvel Universe, so she was ready to take his soul, except it was her emissaries, not her herself. They were here to guide him to death. But as usual, the destroyer did not want to go. So he fought, and he fought like a madman. He had the forces of death actually begging him to die. Please, bro, just stop fighting us. You are 90-something years old. You have lived a good life. Let's end this now. He said, no, thank you. I'm going to live. If you want me to die, fight harder. The forces of death were clearly trying their hardest, but you see, he was just him. He got their weapons and he started using it to kill them. Of course, they couldn't die, but you see, every time they lost, they were demoted. And at some point, it was going to be just darkness. They do not die, they just go dark. They did not want to go dark, but he had no compassion for them. He only cared about his family. It got so bad, they started threatening his wife. If we can't kill you, we will take another person from your family, maybe your wife. But that was a mistake. You never tell the destroyer to his face you're going to come after his wife. He had Death's emissary shook. He was running for his lifeless life. Not like he ever stood a chance of escaping. He beat the brakes off this brother. There was nothing remaining. And when he was done, he stood triumphant. Next time, don't bring 4, bring 10. Back in reality, though, the ambulance was at his house. He was pronounced dead for like 5 minutes. And then he just woke up and said, hey, what the fuck are you guys doing in my house? It was a good thing, man. He came back. His wife was happy. His kids were happy. And when they went to check on his heart, the heart had apparently started to heal itself. Like, the fight with death gave him a new lease on life, and he was ready to use that lease as soon as possible. He saw the commander at the hospital. He thought the commander was here for him. He said, don't worry, I'm getting ready. I'll be ready in about 5 minutes. But the commander said, nah, we don't need you. We need the destroyer, the new destroyer, as he sees his partner donning his suit, ready to dish out his mighty fist. As he watched him run off, he couldn't just accept it, but it was already time. You're an old man. And when his daughter came through, he apologized for taking her man out of this life. She understood he was trying to protect her future, but still, she was always proud when he was fighting crime. Do not take that joy away from my man ever again. And they smiled, because the story had come to an end. He got his greatest wish. The destroyer was never dead. The destroyer was alive and well, and he was currently beating the dog shit out of who deserved it. Have a nice day, guys.